You notice it when the date comes up. Someone casually says, "Oh, I don't really celebrate my birthday." No party, no post, no countdown. Sometimes not even a mention. And it makes you wonder, why would someone skip the one day that's socially designed to be celebrated? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone close to you. Or maybe you've never thought much about it until now. Because choosing not to celebrate a birthday isn't always about sadness, introversion, or disliking attention. In many cases, it reflects deeper psychological preferences, coping styles, and ways people relate to time, identity, and social expectations. Let's explore the psychology behind why some people skip their birthday and what it quietly reveals about how their mind works. Some people avoid birthdays simply because they are uncomfortable with focused attention. These individuals don't necessarily dislike social interaction. They may enjoy conversations, relationships, and shared moments. What they resist is being placed at the center of a group where expectations suddenly form. On birthdays, attention comes with a script. Be happy, be grateful, respond correctly, enjoy the moment. For people who are sensitive to evaluation, this can feel mentally demanding rather than enjoyable. Psychologically, this is linked to heightened self-monitoring. Their awareness of how they are perceived increases under attention, which creates pressure instead of pleasure. Avoiding the birthday becomes a way to avoid unnecessary social performance. If this resonates, the choice isn't about rejecting people, it's about managing cognitive and emotional load. Another group skips birthdays because they don't attach much meaning to symbolic rituals. For these individuals, time passing is a neutral fact, not an emotional milestone. A birthday doesn't represent growth, achievement, or change. It's simply a calendar event. Psychologically, this reflects low symbolic valuation. Some people don't internalize socially assigned meaning unless it aligns with personal values or internal milestones. If nothing significant changed in their life, celebrating feels artificial. So instead of pretending enthusiasm, they opt out. If you recognize yourself here, you may value authenticity over tradition. Skipping the birthday isn't rejection, it's consistency with how you assign meaning. Then there are people whose relationship with birthdays is shaped by memory. Not all birthdays were positive experiences. Some involved unmet expectations, loneliness, or disappointment. Over time, the brain learns associations. Even if the present circumstances are different, the nervous system remembers emotional patterns. The date itself can activate subtle discomfort. Psychologically, this is emotional conditioning. The mind avoids situations that previously carried emotional cost, even if the threat no longer exists. Skipping the birthday becomes a preventative strategy rather than a reaction. If this applies to you, it doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. It means your brain learned to protect you through avoidance. Another profile involves people who experience birthdays as moments of self-evaluation. For them, birthdays trigger reflection, age, progress, missed goals, comparisons to expectations. The day becomes less about celebration and more about assessment. Psychologically, this is common among future-oriented and self-analytical individuals. Time markers intensify awareness of life trajectory, which can feel mentally heavy. Skipping the birthday allows them to reduce that internal pressure. If this feels familiar, the avoidance may not be about aging itself, but about the meaning attached to it. Then there are those who skip birthdays to maintain independence. They may dislike emotional obligations, thanking messages, responding to expectations, returning energy. Celebrations can feel transactional rather than meaningful. Psychologically, this reflects discomfort with dependency and social obligation. These individuals value autonomy and emotional self-sufficiency. Avoiding birthdays minimizes situations where attention feels owed or required. If this resonates, the choice isn't antisocial, it's boundary-based. Here's the important point. Skipping a birthday doesn't have one explanation. It doesn't automatically signal sadness, trauma, introversion, or detachment. In many cases, it reflects how someone regulates attention, meaning, emotion, and identity. Some people prefer quiet continuity over symbolic moments. Some prefer private acknowledgement over public recognition. Some simply don't experience birthdays as emotionally significant. And that's psychologically normal. The issue arises when skipping a birthday is misunderstood or judged, when people are pressured to celebrate in ways that don't match their internal experience. Understanding the psychology allows us to respond with curiosity rather than assumption. So take a moment and reflect. Which perspective fits you or someone you know? Is it about attention, meaning, memory, reflection, autonomy? Or does it change depending on the year, the phase of life, or emotional state? Awareness doesn't require changing behavior. It simply clarifies why the behavior exists. If this exploration helped you see birthdays or people a little differently, you'll likely enjoy more discussions like this. So here's a final thought to leave you with. What if skipping a birthday isn't avoidance, but alignment with how a person experiences meaning? How does that land for you?